Archer Aviation is pioneering a new era of urban air mobility, and at the heart of their groundbreaking work is the Midnight, a revolutionary E&C VTOL aircraft. An electric aircraft capable of conventional takeoff and landing, as well as just vertical takeoff and landing, setting the Archer Midnight apart from others. Led by CEO Adam Goldstein, Archer Aviation has secured a lease at Hawthorne Airport in Los Angeles. This airport will serve as a launch pad for some of their most significant steps into making air taxis a part of everyday life. In fact, the Midnight is set to be a key player in the air taxi services for the upcoming Olympics in California, marking a historic moment in urban air mobility. As for the Midnight itself, this aircraft combines practicality and innovation. It's designed for quiet, efficient operation and can carry passengers smoothly across cityscapes or cross-country flights. During the month of March 2026, Archer Aviation conducted a series of meticulous runway tests focused on the Midnight's hovering and moving about at low speed. These runway tests potentially involve wind and ground effect assessments, testing assisted throttle on and off, hover mode, hover at low speeds of up to 7 knots while performing deliberate side-to-side and zigzag patterns to gauge lateral control response and hover precision. By maintaining very low hover altitudes and executing controlled lateral shifts, the team assessed how the Midnight responded to nuanced control inputs and fine-tuned its stability. Overall, these trials were key in understanding and locking down the aircraft's precision maneuvering capabilities. What this video attempts to do is recreate some of those runway tests in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The Archer Midnight is available for free with your purchase. Archer Midnight runway tested in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Chapter 1 User's Manual Config to Taxi. To get the most accurate Archer Midnight experience, it is recommended to set it up the Archer way by referring to the user manual created in conjunction with Archer Aviation, Microsoft, and FlightFX. See link in description. While one flight stick or other controller can be used, at the moment the Archer Midnight is a 2 flight stick setup. A twist axis is recommended in the user manual for rudder control. Additional foot pedals only seem to be used for braking, but in the simulator you can configure it in many ways. To simulate Archer Midnight runway tests of March 2026, this video will only mostly require the contents of the manual through the configuration, startup, taxi, and hover phase. Table of contents. Of course, it is advisable to read the entire user manual, as there is a flight assist function that is defaulted on and will need to be set to off in most situations. There are also dynamic flight controls that function and activate at different phases of operation. Dynamic flight controls may be a new concept for aviators and flight sim enthusiasts. This manual is designed to provide clear and concise instructions for operating the Archer Midnight electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL aircraft within Microsoft Flight Simulator. The content herein is tailored for both new and experienced pilots, offering a detailed guidance on the unique aspects of the Archer Midnight's operation. This simulation is based on an early development version of the aircraft and may not fully reflect the final production model. Some concessions have been made to simplify single pilot operations within the simulation environment. A small percentage of individuals may experience seizures when exposed to certain visual stimuli such as flashing lights or patterns commonly found in video games. This can occur even in individuals with no prior history of epilepsy or seizures. If you experience any symptoms such as dizziness, vision changes, twitching, or loss of consciousness, stop playing immediately and consult a physician. To minimize the risk of photosensitive seizures, play in a well-lit room, take regular breaks, especially if you feel tired or fatigued. If you or a family member has a history of seizures or epilepsy, consult a doctor before using the simulation. The Archer Midnight is a cutting-edge electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL aircraft designed to revolutionize urban air mobility. This aircraft is tailored to short-distance air taxi services, ideal for transporting passengers between city centers and airports. Capable of carrying a pilot and 4 passengers, the Midnight is optimized for back-to-back flights of around 20 miles, with a total payload capacity exceeding 1,000 pounds. Development history. Archer Aviation Incorporated, headquarters in San Jose, California, was founded in 2018 by Brett Adcock and Adam Goldstein. Their mission was to pioneer sustainable air travel, focusing on urban air mobility (UAM) solutions that reduce the environmental impact of traditional transportation. Archer's goal is to make air taxis an accessible and sustainable transportation option for city dwellers. Archer's initial project, the Maker, was a proof of concept aircraft that helped validate their technology. In 2022, Archer introduced the Midnight, which represents a significant leap forward from the Maker. Designed for commercial use, the Midnight features advanced flight control systems and quieter operations, making it ideal for dense urban environments. The aircraft's efficient design allows for rapid turnarounds between flights, providing an innovative solution for city transport. For more information on Archer Aviation, archer.com/aircraft. Sustainability and innovation. Sustainability and innovation. Archer's commitment to sustainability is at the core of its operations. The Midnight is designed to operate with zero emissions, utilizing advanced battery technology. Additionally, the aircraft's low noise footprint, less than 65 decibels during takeoff and landing, makes it suitable for use in residential areas and other noise-sensitive zones. Design features: 12 fully electric motors. The Archer Midnight is equipped with 12 electric motors, 6 motors on the leading edge that are housed in maneuverable nacelles that can tilt to aid in both vertical and horizontal flight. The remaining 6 motors on the trailing edge remain fixed and provide stability during all flight phases. Redundancy and safety. The Midnight's motor and power systems are designed with full redundancy, ensuring continued operation even in the event of a motor failure. Silent operation. The Midnight operates with near silent propulsion, emitting minimal noise during takeoff, hover, and flight, making it perfect for urban environments. Single pilot operation. The aircraft is designed for single pilot operation, carrying up to 4 passengers and cargo payload of 1,000 pounds. Specifications: power, fully electric, powered by high efficiency battery systems. Range, 100 miles on a full charge, designed for short, frequent flights. Maximum cruise speed, 120 knots indicated. Endurance, comparable to other eVTOL competitors with fast charging capabilities, allowing for quick turnarounds between flights. So basically what we're going to find in the cockpit here: multifunction display, primary flight display, MFD soft keys, PFD soft keys, the GTC Garmin touchscreen controller, the left-hand interceptor, LHI, the right-hand interceptor, RHI, parking brake, brake pedals, the autopilot panel, the remote control panel, aircraft mode switch, power lift switch, pitot heat, ELT switch, and dimmer switch. The left-hand interceptor, LHI overview. We have a hover hat switch, which is used to go forward and increase speed, go backwards by decreasing speed, and it should have a press function between hover and speed modes. It should also have a button for TOGA, takeoff, go around. The recommended keybinds for LHI are: for speed acceleration, increase flaps, and for speed deceleration, decrease flaps. The right-hand interceptor, RHI, it has an autopilot disconnect switch. Key components: the Garmin G3000 integrated flight deck, state-of-the-art flight management system that offers a fully integrated navigation and flight control solution. It includes both a multifunction display, MFD, and a primary flight display, PFD, ensuring that all critical flight data is easily accessible. Primary flight display displays essential flight information such as altitude, attitude, heading, airspeed, and other critical indicators. The PFD also offers a split-screen moving map for enhanced situational awareness. Multifunction display, MFD, shows detailed aircraft systems data, including power management, energy consumption, and remaining battery capacity. Fly-by-wire, FBW. The Midnight is equipped with fly-by-wire technology, enabling intuitive controls via two interceptors. The left-hand interceptor controls the throttle and overall speed of the aircraft, and the right-hand interceptor controls altitude, pitch, and bank depending on the current flight mode. The Garmin Touchscreen Controller, GTC, allows for seamless navigation systems management and flight planning through a user-friendly touchscreen interface. The Garmin Remote Panel controls displays on the MFD and PFD. The Garmin Flight Control contains autopilot settings and controls. The Flight Mode Annunciator, FMA, displays the active flight mode, e.g. hover, forward flight, and status of critical systems such as navigation mode and autopilot settings. Soft keys, located beneath the PFD, MFD, these buttons will allow interaction with systems, menus, and flight settings. Speed button contains the acceleration, deceleration switches. Automatically sets acceleration, deceleration rates for the aircraft to either a hover or forward flight, depending on flight phase. Speed hold, hover hold. Depending on flight mode settings, the LHI to center position will enable hold mode. Energy management display. The energy management system of the Archer Midnight is critical to ensuring safe and efficient operations. The energy display shows vital information about battery capacity and range endurance. Understanding these metrics helps pilots optimize the aircraft's performance during different flight phases. Quick reference guide. Pre-flight. Aircraft mode. Switch to ground position. Press soft key to clear right multifunction display. MFD splash screen. Battery status. Check battery charge on the MFD energy bar, 150 kilowatts. Flight controls. Check the LHI, the left-hand interceptor, and RHI, right-hand interceptor, for proper responses during the control margin section on the MFD. Flight plan. Program the route using the GTC Garmin touch controller. V-speeds. Set speed bugs using the GTC. Local altimeter. Set barometric altimeter as needed using B as a shortcut. External lights, activate position and strobe lights optional. Activate signature light using the GTC. Pitot heat, turn on as needed. Startup. Aircraft mode, move switch to the fly position. System check, wait for FCS flight control systems and TPS, thrust propulsion system. Check to complete engine nacelles will cycle position CAS, crew alerting system. Messages will appear. System check complete. FCS and TPS CAS messages will extinguish on the PFD. Parking brake. Release the parking brake. Crew alerting system messages. Ensure no red or yellow CAS notifications remain. Taxi. Throttle control. Use the LHI to adjust taxi speed, keeping it up to 15 knots. To accelerate, move the throttle control to more than 3/4 full forward. Once you reach the desired speed, pull the throttle back to the centered position. Steering, use the right hand RHI twist axis for directional control. Stopping, apply the brakes as needed. And that is mostly all of the user manual we will need for conducting these simulated Archer Midnight runway tests. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space. Kenny is the Sky Dude here, and yeah, finally, the Archer Midnight runway tests in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I'm just going to be sitting in the back commenting on what's going on the screen. I wasn't narrating this as I went. This is all footage from the last few days trying to put this together. So here we are at KLAX, and I imagine that in the future Archer Aviation might be doing a lot of Archer Midnight flights to and from KLAX. I wanted to put that iconic tower structure that they have in the background. Yeah, there we go. So this seemed like a really great place to take off. Well, at least I thought. So a little bit of foreshadowing of the horror that is about to happen. So just taking a walk around the thing. Man, she's beautiful, isn't she? Any superhero would be happy to have something as beautiful as the Archer Midnight. So switching over to ground, that's going to start powering up the whole system. That power lift should be enabled. Pitot heat is optional. Here, the screens are coming to life. It's starting to do its GPS alignment. You can see that on the PFD, the one on the left. The MFD is the one on the right. All right, I'm setting up the external power to the generator, and I'm opening the doors. Now, some interesting thing happened here. Normally, when you open the doors and then you come out to see the generator, the doors are open so you can look inside and the generator's there. For whatever reason, this bugged out right here. So no matter how many times I plugged in the generator and started it and then opened the doors, every time I went out of the aircraft, it closed the doors on us and it didn't pop the generator down. So I'm not really sure. It was something that happens once in a blue moon, and of course it's going to happen while I'm recording. All right, so I'll give up here in a second with the doors, but we get a look around. Surprisingly, on those I don't know, like a band running down the center of the seat are coordinates, and I have no idea when searching the coordinates what that has to do, the location, with Archer Midnight or Flight FX or Microsoft or anybody. Those coordinates right there on that band, running up and down the middle of the chair. Yeah, interesting. So PDF, Sim Action, LHI Assist. The LHI Assist button is not mentioned in the manual as far as I can tell, and as far as I could find. Okay, it's supposed to assist you in taking off. I'm not really sure what it does. Okay, you're going to want to try it both ways. I almost always turn it off. Nothing ever seems to work right with it on. Right? Maybe you'll find the zen of it. I haven't. So I always switch that off. It's always seeming to mess with what I'm trying to do at the moment. If you know how to use the LHI Assist on, please let me know. Okay. Now we're switching to fly mode. That's the reason why I couldn't take off and begin rolling. So after you switch to fly mode, it will do a nacelle test. So it's going to rotate the nacelles up and down once or twice. Yeah, I didn't want it to be perfect weather. I wanted it to be, a little bit cloudy, moody. So one of the things they absolutely mention in the user manual is not letting it get away from you. And sometimes when you don't, if you push too aggressively on the throttle, you might toggle it to go into acceleration mode, and things like that can happen. And so what's going to happen here, and again, I can't move. Now I've left the parking brake on. Duh. So what happens here is I'm applying the forward pressure on the left stick, as you see, and then I'm pulling back a little bit. Watch, I'll apply force, and I think I'm stuck. I'm trying to stop getting stuck, so I'm forcing it all the way forward. So then I lift off a little bit in case it's sandy, and I've lost control. She entered acceleration mode, and I couldn't pull back fast enough to stop that from happening. And yeah, they mentioned that in the book, in the user's manual. Be careful not to toggle yourself into a mode that you don't want. Okay, keeping the throttle in neutral, or keeping your joystick in neutral, very important. You may also want to use one or more hat switches in addition to just using the y-axis. Uh-oh, I ran into a fence. So not only am I using the left-handed joystick when I push forward and backwards for the throttle, and forward and backwards for increased flaps and decreased flaps, I'm also using one of the hat switches to just increase throttle and decrease throttle. And then I've got a wheel, like a mouse wheel on my joystick. And when I roll the wheel forward, I've set it to increase flaps. When I roll it backwards, I've set it to decrease flaps. So I have a way to ensure that if I wanted to go into acceleration mode or deceleration mode, it's just a roll or a pull on the wheel. This wheel also has a push function. And so they want you to have a button like that on, there is a button like that on the Archer controller. It is when you push forward, it'll accelerate. When you pull back, it'll decelerate. And when you press, it'll hold altitude, speed, or hover. Now, when I say accelerate and decelerate, what I mean is accelerating is transitioning. So when your aircraft is above 30 to 40 knots, 50 knots, and you want to transition into full flight mode, when you're at that kind of speed, you need to tell it to transition. So you need to either push the joystick forward one more time and try to engage the acceleration mode, or use a button on your joystick to toggle acceleration mode to begin the transition from forward flight to full flight. And same thing when you want to detransition from forward flight, rolling the mouse wheel back. At any point, gaining or losing speed, if you press the button, it will do a speed hold, right? So you can still kind of dial in your speeds. Okay, so we're stopping at the threshold, which you should do at all airports, practice or not. Just get in the habit of doing it. And look around, make sure nobody's coming. What I'm doing here is just a little left and right test. We're going to get into more aggressive at the moment. Touching down, I think I've decided I'm not going out on the runway just yet. I'm going to test my speeds, just putzing around the airport taxiway for a little bit. Take the brake off. All right. So when you gently push forward a little bit and then release the stick, you start moving at taxi speeds. And you don't have to hold the stick, just leave it in neutral. And now we're at, probably 4 to 7 knots, somewhere in there. Under 15 knots, so we don't get a ticket for overspeeding. That in itself is a neat thing to have in an aircraft, because whenever you're taxiing, there's no set rate. It's always you're increasing speed or decreasing speed, increasing speed or decreasing speed. You're always trying to maintain that taxi speed without overspeeding and getting yelled at and getting a ticket. There's no button you can push just to say maintain taxi speed. So you never go faster than that. With this, you kind of can. So testing the brakes, stopping and starting. So again, now I'm going a little bit faster, like maybe 15 knots in a, down the taxiway, and slowing down again. Testing the brakes. And here we go again. I think I'm going to start picking up some dangerous taxi speeds here. So now we're kind of getting into the vicinity of, yep, we're definitely going to get a ticket. This is very unsafe to move. But testing the brakes at higher speeds. Perfect. Yep, unsafe taxi speeds. but the brakes are doing just fine. Here we go again. That's about a 4-knot move. We're gonna go check this area out over here, see how these folks are doing. Hey y'all, it's Kenny's the Sky Dude. How you doing today? Don't mind me in this amazing looking eVTOL aircraft. Well, it's a CTOL and a VTOL, because you can do a conventional takeoff as well. And we're going to test those too. As we do our runway test, we're going to be transitioning from just non-hover into liftoff, and then we're going to come right back down. We're going to float down the runway a little bit and come back down. All right, so now heading into the runway, I'm going to start doing some testing proper. And one of the things they have been doing in the real world Archer tests is zigzagging. So they've been adjusting speeds, going from 1 knot to 4 knots to 5 knots to 7 knots, maybe even a little faster, and zigzagging and testing your ability to get the nose zigzagging. You can also use your rudder. Well, that's in hover mode. Right now we're still in conventional mode. We haven't lifted off. We're just rolling down the runway, so all we have is, you know, our rudder control to go side to side. But still controlling it pretty good, even as we pick up more and more speed. Uh-oh, interceptor. An encroacher. All right, so same thing. Now I'm going to start picking up ludicrous speed. Still haven't done a hover yet. And now we're starting to get into takeoff speeds. Yep, now we're definitely getting into takeoff speeds here. And if I lift up, we can probably get lift. Another encroacher. But I just want to see how fast she'll go first. All right, high speed braking. Look at that. I'm just gonna, I think I wanted to talk or something, or I wanted to look at the United building. So came off the runway for either a taco or the building. Probably the taco. So I saw in the news today, maybe United is getting a little cold feet on Archer. It's such early days. You don't want to be like the blockbuster video of Aviation, United. Just, I mean, things move fast, but it's still going to take a while. And it's inevitable. So, don't lose the faith. You of all people. Okay, so entered our first little hover. So hovering and maneuvers at different speeds as we go down the runway. So now side to side and lateral movements, as well as turning and doing both at the same time. It's like turning while doing a slew to the right or a slew to the left. So I'm going to be trying to do that and going up and down and then varying the speed. So not really that exciting of stuff. And in the coming weeks, as they start doing more testing of not just runway activities, but doing full transitions, let's now take it to the next step, and we'll start doing lots and lots of transitions. And conventional takeoffs and hover takeoffs, and then lots of landings and maneuverability, and then we'll start trying to do a lot of heliport to heliport hopping. So one of the thing that the manual really stresses is that, one, weight, winds, really affect the Archer Midnight. But the thing that affects it most of all, your battery power, is being in a hover. So while it is the bee's knees, and while most of our time is just going to be in hover as we do our training, it is going to drain the battery faster than anything else. And then as you add more weight, as you'll see in another test coming up, as we add heavy weight, like my kind of heavyweight, and more people like me heavyweight, into the Archer, and then we have baggage, just how much trying to keep the thing in a hover, how quickly it can drain a battery, and I mean quick. So I'm gonna have to lose like 1,000 pounds if I'm ever gonna be a potential pilot for one of these things. So doesn't she just go sideways beautifully? Oh, something to note. The joystick that I'm using for my right hand interceptor, it is old and it's got bad springs. And although I'm gonna probably switch the joysticks out and switch them around. But right now I've got too much movement that I can't really fix in the rudder of the right hand joystick. And so normally everything to do with throttle is the left hand, everything to do with movement is the right hand. I'm actually, you can set them up redundantly. So with my left hand, I've also added in twist to control the rudder with the left hand and shut off the rudder input on the right hand controller. And that helped out a lot. Calibrating your joysticks, as you'll see in other videos coming up shortly, you'll see that I spent a lot of time. And what you're going to see on screen is nothing compared to how much time I have spent messing with the controls and exploring different types of configurations and dead zones and extremely dead zones and sensitivities, and oh my, a lot of time. I swear half a day or more in the controls. Once you get it, it all seems very simple, but getting there, no, it didn't seem intuitive at all. But I'm glad that I did get a new joystick, the Turtle Beach Velocity 1, which I'm using. I think it's okay. I'm over my 14 days to return it, but I think I'm starting to wish I had. There's a couple of zones for being a new joystick. One, it's awful tight. It's really tight, and you can't, there's no ability to like loosen it. And also a couple of the axes, maybe it's just not well worn in yet. Sometimes it'll stick a little bit to one side or forward or backwards. You just kind of, just tap it, give it a quick little smack. Like, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? Smack. And it settles back into its neutral position. So I've noticed that early on in a lot of the earlier tests, again, which you'll see later coming up, that trying to hold a hover in the earlier tests, you can see how much deflection I was getting, especially in a clip coming up where I'm trying to just hover over a landing spot and just bring it down for a landing. So the rudder control is out of control. I couldn't just get it right where I wanted. And then inappropriate calibration and or dead zones. When I'm trying to touch down, I'm kicking in other control surfaces, and you'll see, it's just a nightmare. But this test was going just fantastic as we look back up on the screen. So again, I got the nose tilted one way, I'm slewing one way, a different way, turning and slewing at the same time. I think I'm going, is this where I go in to recharge the battery? Because I know even with what little we've been doing, no, I don't, maybe not yet. I'm gonna do one recharge here in a moment. So it looks like I'm just doing my zigzags. And it looks like I'm picking up some speed. If you're having any sort of problems getting your rig set up to run the Archer Midnight, I will absolutely do my best to try to help you as much as I can. So I think here I was trying to build up to now to takeoff speeds. We're at 78 knots, so I could climb. Okay, so I am up at, yeah, okay, so I'm in full flight mode right now, and I'm just full flighting. Now I'm decelerating 64 knots, and I'm just floating, flying down the runway, and I believe I'm going to try to make it decelerate and go back into a hover before we hit the end of the runway. 30 knots. Yeah, we're under 40 knots, so it'll start transitioning. The nacelles are going up. We come down. So again, Archer says, hey, if you don't need to be in a hover, don't be in a hover. You want to be in full flight mode as much as possible, as fast as possible. Always be thinking about how much energy you're going to need. In some of the later videos, again, what you're going to see is me not paying attention to my battery, and we come crashing down, even from short heights. So I think this is where I'm taking off now and off the runway, and I'm going to go do a recharge. And this one, the charger should actually show up. I don't think I messed with the doors at all this time around. I just wanted to get the charger going and see how much energy we have used. Yeah, half. Little over half, and just the messing around that we've been doing. Yep. All right, so we're going back to our, I was supposed to put it into ground mode and I forgot. Plugging in the charger, setting it to, there's 8, 16, 32 times speed supercharger. And there's the generator rolled out. Got one plugged into our wing and one plugged into our hip. See the ones there, they go up into the wings, and then one over here off our hip. Looks like a normal gas tank. Cute little generator. It doesn't have a logo on it. Archer, the Joby generator has a Joby logo on it. It charges fast. Well, it just depends if you're in a hurry. So I've got it on 32 times, but if I'm doing role playing and I've got my camping going and my dog's out, I'll just set it to normal one time. Not in a hurry. So yeah, it's already topped up. In other videos as we move forward, it talks about setting up your flight plans, and we'll go over using the autopilot. We'll go over using everything that you really want to know. There's a lot of different screens and utilities in here. For example, your internal and external lights right there. They're in here. A lot of the buttons don't function yet. Barometrics, your barometer, Everything's nice and simple, just touch screens. I love the touchscreen Garmin's. Clock timer. Avionics settings and database status. So some things you can modify in there. So much stuff in a tiny little package. Building flight plans in this thing is easy. So if you want to build one on the fly or change things and just pull the direct to, or it's quite amazing. If you don't know how to use autopilots and you're not that far along in your training, hurry up, because I think if you think to yourself, man, can it actually do long distance cross-country flights? Well, yeah, if you know what you're doing, you get it up in the air fast, you transition fast, you conserve your energy, you can do, 100 miles. All right, so we're getting ready to go again and get back out to the runway and finish up some more tests on this one. This was kind of a long one. The other ones won't be so long, but I wanted to get everything that they wanted tested done in this latest one. Plus, I kind of knew what I was doing now. I was getting the feel for it. I didn't really get the feel for using the left-hand interceptor for throttle. You can use a throttle for your throttle. Like if your joystick has a throttle on it, you can do that. But I'm really trying to do it the Archer way. I really want to understand their mindset before I impose my own. I've also heard that in the real world, the Archer interceptors, right or left, they don't have twist. Now, I couldn't seem to find anything in the FAA. Well, the AI couldn't find anything at the FAA that would prohibit the use of a twist controller in this cockpit. And all I can then want to say to Archers, if you can, why don't you? This generation of ours, of mine, and the ones around us, we've all grown up with these joysticks with Sidewinder control and hat buttons and other buttons and buttons and buttons. More buttons. But we've managed over the years until recently, before Star Citizen and everybody wanted to do these two joystick setups, we had become quite accustomed to doing everything with just one joystick. And so at least let them both have twists, and at some point in the future it would be great to see this all into one right-handed controller or left-handed controller that you can just pick. But after a while I might say, hey, you know, I really now prefer a right and a left-handed controller. And I don't know yet. I haven't got there yet. I don't have enough experience. But always wanting to keep it more and more simple has, it's a goal. Because getting into aviation is hard enough. One little thing here, one little thing there, if you can simplify. And the design of this thing and the way she handles everything is simplified. And so if you can, then please do. Maybe you have different options out there, different interior kit options. So just doing more of those tests, just increasing speed, decreasing speed. Now I'm doing hovers, again, more hovers, doing my side to sides, my zigzags, testing all control surfaces, lifting off, and doing actual takeoffs, but I'm not going anywhere, just back down the runway, trying to decelerate, trying to maintain hovers. Yeah, there, decel switch, slow to hover. So trying to do transitioning, detransitioning. I've managed to pull up on the MFD, the one on the right, my satellite alignment screen. It's my alignment to all the GPS satellites and their status. And I did not know how to get rid of that. It's something when I was showing you earlier, messing around in the Garmin, little touchpad Garmin down there in the middle. I was messing with map functions or screen settings. Yeah, we still have our energy configuration stuff on the right side. Just now we have that satellite stuff up. All right, here we go again. I'm doing just going very, very, very fast down the runway. We're entering into takeoff speeds. I've taken off. I'm flying now. And thinking to myself, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. Now I'm decelerating and slowing back down, and I'm going to transition back to hover. And I'm also messing with my hold controls. So like I'll speed up a little bit and then I'll press the button and like hold. There's a touchdown. Then I'll increase the speed, press the hold button and try to hold the speed there. So learning how to fix your speed or lock it in. Again, having the extra, one of the extra hat keys in case for whatever reason I want to use that for throttle instead of pushing and pulling. You can do that. All right, coming to a full stop again. Back to hover. Is this the end? Is this where I just say, hey, that's everything we need to test. We're done. We're just gonna go park it now and shut it off. Isn't it nice? You just flip a switch, either to ground or fly mode, and it just powers the whole system up. That's it. Yeah, I'm bringing it in for the to conclude this test. So then I think I have footage now coming up from like way earlier in the day, same day, and then testing from the day before, and possibly even some from the day before that. And those, again, you'll definitely see the performance I'm getting in this one. If you refer from this one to the other ones that you're going to see, you're going to see a lot of drifting and slewing, and you're going to see crashes, and it's not pretty. Well, mostly. I think, you know, I have it down mostly, but it still can be pretty ugly. There we go. Just turn it off. It's like the F-35 cockpit. Everything's just so simple. It's so wonderful seeing the vertical takeoff and landing technology plus the computerized cockpit from the F-35 come down to us mere mortals. No other aircraft, you know, other than, again, unless it's brand new and somebody else in the field of eVTOL working on this same kind of thing. No other aircraft in the world have the simplistic F-35 kind of controls. Mind-blowing. Oh yeah, so here we are earlier again, that same day, but way earlier. I set up my camping utility and set out the dogs and set up some food because it was going to be a long day of testing. Wanted to make sure coffee was there. And eggs and hamburgers and stir fry for the vegans out there. So basically going to go through all that again. Every time I start up, get down there to our switches, switch it to ground mode or fly mode. Oh, I've decided let's just look around the cockpit. There's the right hand interceptor. There is a bar that doesn't function. Here is our autopilot deck, our primary and secondary displays. Power lift, I turned it off. It does need to be in the enabled setting. It's usually set to enable by default when you get into the aircraft, but I just turned it off, turn it back on to make a point. Okay, now switching over to ground mode, maybe. Yep. Okay, we're in ground mode now. Now our avionics will come alive. The nacelles might do a little bit of rotating, some small testing. The GPS is aligning on the left screen. Click the soft key on the first soft key on your right on the second screen to turn that one on. I'm wiggling the joysticks back and forth, up and down, left and right, doing a test of your controls. You can monitor their movement on the MFD. GPS is still aligning. Turning off LHI assist. Turn it off. Again, I'm not saying always don't trust me. You may find the zen. By leaving it on, you may discover the zen of it. There's no real documentation about the LHI assist in the user manual. All I know is that things don't normally work the way that the manual says that they should work with that being on. There I am messing with the doors. See, this time they stayed open. It was a bug in the other one. And you see the generator. And now I'm outside. And again, now we can look into the aircraft with the doors open. I don't know why they put those little displays between the people. I mean, your neck is going to be so crimped by trying to look over and read a little digital display right at the side of your face. I'm sure they'll work it out. I'm sure they will work it out. And as always, the disclaimer is hey man, this may or not be what the final product is in the real world at all. This is just the best approximation at the moment, right? They're trying to model it accurately, but again, things are going to change. They've got deals with NVIDIA on the way. They've got deals with these people. They've got deals with that people. They've acquired certain technologies that might change all kinds of things. So I am just at least thankful that we have the Archer Midnight for free with our purchase of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I think you can get it for 2020. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I'm putting it into fly mode now, and she's going to do her transition tests. Batman and Alfred are over there in the corner going, oh, this is nice. Especially Alfred. Oh, simple. So simple. I don't have to think about all these crazy Wayne buttons and switches and this and that and the other. It's just, oh, a superhero vehicle, superhero supporter vehicle worthy of Alfred Pennyworth. Okay, I'm gonna do some taxing. Again, just push it a little bit, let it get a little bit of speed, and let go, and you've got a 4-knot taxi set. Beautiful thing. Always stopping at thresholds. And we're at MEADOWLAKE Airport in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I wanted so to reduce the memory load on the computer. So flying out of KLAX or Hawthorne, LA's huge. And so I just wanted to be out here, someplace near my house, with not a lot going on around the area, not 1,000 million cars and a million buildings, right? Airport traffic, ocean traffic. So I wanted to save the computer sanity and just come over to a nice quiet runway. All right, well, I think at this point, you know what I'm going to do as you watch these next tests. This is kind of a wind drift test now. So I'm just hovering in place here. It says right there, wind drift and joystick calibrating. So I'll try to pop in more notes about what I'm doing. But this was really helping me nail down where that problem was with my right hand rudder controls. And you're going to see me doing some joystick tweaking in here, which is really important to find what you like with regards to sensitivities, dead zones, yada, yada, yada. But it was through doing just a plain old hover, just sit there and see if it drifts left and right, and try to get your controls set. I lost it here. It accelerated on me again, which is in the manual to watch out for. An acceleration that'll get away from you, and I lost control, and we're gonna crash, and we crashed. So anyway, just trying to bring it up into a hover, and just let it sit there. Check your winds, and if it's not the winds moving you around, isolate as many phantom motions as you can and try to get it to where it's not getting any input really in a hover. And when you're twisting and pushing and turning all at the same time, make sure there's enough dead zone so that as you twist, you might actually, be accidentally putting too much forward pressure or too much backward pressure. So if you're trying to do a sideways maneuver, but you're going forward or backward, either way, setting enough dead zone so when you move one way, it doesn't trigger another way. And then after that, I think all these next tests are going to be like weight tests, adding more weight, like I said. And you're going to see after takeoff and just a few minutes worth of testing by adding in lots of fat people and fat cargo, that the battery just dies so fast. And I crashed a couple of times on this runway, I think. Just fall 6 feet out of the air and crash. Here's some of the joystick calibration stuff. But I think you are pretty much going to have heard me say everything I needed to say about what I'm doing as far as the tests. I think you can now just watch them and realize what I'm trying to achieve. And so with that, my dear friends, again, please like and subscribe. Links are in the description for everything. And I think I'm going to go try to find some music that won't violate anybody's copyright, and just try to add some music to the rest of these for your listening pleasure. If you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to ask. And if you subscribe to me and you need a new follower, I will absolutely subscribe back. All right. As they keep doing more different types of tests, I'll keep doing more different types of tests. And I'm sure I'm going to be showing you a lot more Archer stuff in the future. Take care. Happy flying.
Thanks for flying UFP Starlines. We have arrived at Rigel 4. Please put your trays in the upright position and start exiting the Starliner. Chad?
Yes, please start filing out in an orderly manner.
This isn't Ryza.
Oh, I'm sorry. Being responsible for your ticket destination is not part of my job description.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for flying UFP Starlines. Bye-bye.
My luggage.
We'll beam outside. Bye-bye.
But
Follow my pointing fingers. Bye-bye.
Hi, excuse me. How many points do I get for this trip?
I'm sorry. Do my ears look pointy to you? Bye-bye.
My voice makes grown women cry for more. My charm makes even birds buy discounted flights. My humor can make stone statues crack a smile. I burn so bright, I invented a new wattage. I am my own universe, floating freely, unexpectedly, uncensored. You want to climb Mount Everest with me? Kayak the Amazon? Hike the Andes? I lead. You want to smoke rare cigars and drink fine brandy on the terrace with me? You buy. And now you can do all these things, almost. Shatner's world is filled with stories from my illustrious life and career. You will discover and experience how I became William Shatner. Larger than life and bigger than any role I've ever played. Because let's face it, it is Shatner's world, isn't it?
You've arrived when you drive up in the 1958 Edsel, the car that's truly new from nameplate to tail lights. New from the front. New from the side. New from the rear. Only Edsel has the sleek, clean line design that sets it apart from the look-alike cars. And it combines new looks with the newest V8 engines in the world, the big new Edsel 400 and the power-packed Edsel 475. It is unlikely you have ever driven a car with so much real, usable power as the Edsel. And with Edsel's exclusive TeleTouch drive, you drive more safely, more easily than you ever have before, because both hands can stay at the wheel while the Edsel shifts electrically. There's even the added luxury of new Edsel air suspension that's just like riding on air, because you are. And remember, of all the medium-priced cars, car for car, across the board, the 1958 Edsel is the one that's new and the lowest price, too. So see your Edsel dealer.
see she's got a mind of her own. I'm talking about like
a very lucky boy. I've got a Tootsie Roll Pop. And I'm a very lucky girl. I've got a Tootsie Roll Pop. All of the kids in the neighborhood say Tootsie Roll Pop's a triple good. Triple good.
Triple good. Sure, because... 1, on the outside there's a delicious hard candy. 2, on the inside there's a chewy, chocolatey Tootsie Roll center. And 3, a Tootsie Roll Pop has that extra special flavor-giving goodness because only a Tootsie Roll Pop is 2 candies in 1 pop.
And you remind your mom to buy the Tootsie Roll Pop Party Pack. 10 delicious pops in assorted flavors. And look, there's a game or puzzle on the back, too. So remember, all of the kids in the neighborhood say Tootsie Roll Pop's are triple good. Triple good. You'll love Tootsie Roll Pop.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you K. Dumit's magic formula blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Gives loveliness lather even in hardest water. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Luster Cream, not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Gives new beauty to all hairdos or permanents. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo and be a dream girl, beautiful Luster Cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a Luster Cream shampoo.
After being pecked by a radioactive bird, a somewhat mannered T-Tide Hill was compelled to become Kineas, the Sky Dude.